You know, Mr. Kerrigan and Ms. Hunter, we're having these, as you already know, we're having a serious issue with encampments. And I've gone out to talk to some people, and I'm finding out that some people are falling through the cracks. You know, they're not in need of mental health, they're not in need of substance abuse help. What has happened, some of them have gone through some kind of domestic issue, ended up in a homeless situation. What I'm going to ask Mr. Kerrigan and Ms. Hunter, I'm going to request a presentation. Some of these people are scared. I have to tell you, they're scared where they're ending up. I would like to see a presentation on a managed versus, I know, Ms. Hunter, you don't want the sanctioned encampment, but we have to figure something out for these folks. There's a small group of individuals in Chinatown that have gotten together. Some of them are homeless or unhoused, but they're willing to govern themselves. They're asking the city, find us a place, a safe place. We'll keep it clean. And you know, I spoke to some of the owners of the expedition part, the expo site. I think they're in Oakland. I think that's where I called. There's got to be something we can do where people that are in their cars, there's a parking area, but we got to do something. Sincerely, we have to do something. So I hope you take that into consideration.
I'd like to support you on that item.
Thank you. And you know, the other thing, and thank you for looking at this, Car Lake, and we do have a lot of undocumented folks. You know what brings a lot of folks to Salinas is our agriculture industry. So with our agriculture industry, people are hard workers. They come here for a better life, and sometimes they find out when they get here that it's a very expensive life to live here. So they end up, some of these folks are in their camps and they're going to work in the morning. Think about that. But what's happening is they're bringing a lot of trash as well. So I think we need to address that. So Car Lake really needs our consideration.
Thank you.
And I will be your buddy on the request for discussion on managed and sanctioned encampments.
My name is Gregory Gordon. I'm 70 years old. I was born in Ohio. I've been in Salinas for 2.5 years in a place called Dorothy's Place, it's really the house of hell, but the house of peace. I demand that the city council do something about the way the people are treated there. They're beat down, not beat up, and they don't seem to be trying to help people get off their whatever. They tell me that, Mr. Gordon, we leave at 5 o'clock. If there's a problem, can you deal with it? I don't work here. I don't work for you. I'm one of the people that should be getting help. I work in the entertainment business, and when it went down because of COVID, I was kind of left homeless, and I got a room at the House of, from the state of California in the marina, and then they brought me to the House of Peace. I left Thursday to go to Long Beach to apply for work so I can get out of here and up on my feet. When I left, Roman, the director, called me and said that all your stuff is being thrown in the garbage and you're no longer welcome on the program and you're out in the streets. I got back last night, I couldn't get in. I went by there today, and as soon as I got there, they called 911 and said that I was being disrespectful and respectful and threatening. And what I said to Roman is, I'll see you in court. And I will see him in court. My next stop is to Governor Newsom's office to let them know that there are people who are using the homeless thing to benefit but not help the homeless. And I demand that Jill Allen and Roman Perez be relieved of their duties because they're not doing anything to help people but to beat people up and take their money, my $350 a month, and not do anything. So I come before the city council because as of tonight, you're going to have one more person in the street sleeping when I shouldn't be. And there's something that needs to be done about people that are taking and not helping people, but beating them up and not trying to get them off their feet.
I'd like to see if I could get the city manager to follow up with the gentleman, see how we can support him. Gentleman who spoke about Dorothy's Kitchen.
So I'm Eloise Shim, and I'm a resident in District 3 of Salinas, fairly new resident. But I myself, I empathize with this man because I lived at Dorothy's place in 2014, and they did bully me relentlessly. Also, I'd like to say that California accounts for 1/3 of the nation's homeless. And among this population, seniors are estimated to be the fastest growing group. From 2017 to 2021, California's senior population grew by 7%, and the number of people over 55 who sought homeless services increased 84%. And that's according to the Homeless Data Integration System. For a comparison, the number of people accessing homelessness services across all ages was 43% during this time. But in the growing number, the research shows that people are more at risk if they're over 50 from losing shelter, and especially people who live alone, they're on fixed incomes, they have little or no savings. And the main contributor is that the California rents are soaring, and the Social Security, the people on Social Security and supplemental benefits has not kept up. Also, people who are over 50, a study shows, the homeless people who are over 50, their median age for death is 65. While other people who are housed, the median age is 76. So these people die. And the main causes of death are heart condition, cancer, and drug overdose.
Chago?
Wanted to bring to the attention to the council the Salinas police officers' Facebook posting. And we're really, as community members, as residents, really trying to understand some of the intention around the messaging. I look at one that was posted about a young resident who happened to wear skinny jeans. I don't think I need to read the post, but I think you all know which one I'm talking about, and really trying to understand how much energy, time, and imagination goes into these posts. What is the ultimate intention? What is the overall message around these pieces? And how much of their time how much of the work time is going into posting these pieces? I have a lot of questions about that myself. I know we can't really get these questions answered in my 2-minute comment, but it is definitely leaving some type of impression. This was brought to me by a resident, by a neighbor, one of my neighbors. They're asking me if the Salinas Police Department gets paid to put this together, to put, our taxpayers' money to invested into this type of activity. I can't really speak on behalf of the Salinas Police Department regarding the use of these Facebook posts and these Instagram posts, but it really does do something to the imagination of the residents.
My name is Valeria Hernandez Melchor, and I'm a resident of Salinas. I wanted to start off by saying that it has not gone without notice that the Salinas Police Department has taken down its social media accounts. In the future, the Salinas PD should model due processes to avoid biases and prejudices. This is a good time for the SPD to thoroughly reassess its practices and choice of words when covering community members being detained or arrested by law enforcement. Although the SPD is not alone in how they choose to negatively and mockingly cover community members, we are encouraged that they will learn from their mistakes and use discernment.
Robin?
I'd like to compliment the council for taking up the process of getting teams of paramedic and healthcare professionals together to complement the work of the police department in answering appropriate calls that police are not needed. This will save the city millions of dollars. And as a taxpayer, we all expect the city council and the heads of the different departments to use our taxpayers' money wisely. And this would be one of the wisest ways to use funds to complement police activity and help out the community without force. So I'm very pleased to hear that this is being taken up, and I appreciate it muchly. And also, I'd like to say that police can be hired also from different types of backgrounds, such as social work and sociology, not just criminal justice. So I'd like to recommend that that be looked into as well, to change kind of the mindset of what policing can be. But I really do appreciate these teams getting together and saving the city potentially millions of dollars, which apparently, from what people are saying, is really needed elsewhere.
My name is Olga Reina. I belong to Healthy Communities, building healthy communities. I belong to District 4, and I'm happy to have the Zoom put in already, but we need to have it translated. We have a lot of participation in the Zoom and a lot of interest, but there needs to be translation in the Zoom as soon as possible. It's very important for the community, and we also need to have the agenda translated for the Spanish speakers, so that...
Ok, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Juan Aguilar, residente del Distrito número 1, y la razón de que estoy aquí en la Junta es porque quiero pedirles a todos los miembros del concilio si pudieran hacer estas juntas de Zoom también en español. Yo ahorita estoy llegando del trabajo y me gustaría pues poder entender todo lo que se está hablando para poder tener más participación. Ese es únicamente el motivo del que estoy aquí participando en este comentario público. Gracias.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Juana Aguilar, and I'm the president of District 1. And the reason that I'm calling in is just to ask you if these meetings in Zoom can be also in Spanish. I just came back from work, and I would like to understand what this meeting is about so I can have a better participation. Thank you.
Mi nombre es Nidia Soto, soy organizadora en la comunidad. Yo estoy aquí para pedirles y dejarles saber que estamos organizando en nuestra comunidad para que se involucren los residentes en la toma de decisiones de nuestra ciudad y participen, pero vemos una barrera en el idioma, en que no están traducidas las agendas, en que no están siendo traducidas estas juntas por Zoom. Y pedimos de la manera más atenta que tomen en cuenta nuestro pedido. Estuvimos participando en diciembre 13, 2022, haciendo este mismo pedido. Estuvimos en febrero 7, 2023, haciendo este mismo pedido, que es importante que se traduzcan las juntas por Zoom, por la participación que quieren los residentes involucrarse. La alcaldesa estuvo presente en la junta del 16 de febrero, donde demostramos bastante participación e interés de nuestra comunidad en escuchar y saber cuál es el plan para nuestra ciudad, nuestro futuro, ¿verdad? Entonces, por favor, les pido que pongan atención en eso, ya que nuestra comunidad está interesada en involucrarse, pero el idioma es una barrera. Las agendas no están siendo traducidas y las juntas por Zoom, pues tampoco.
Good afternoon. My name is Nidia Soto, and I'm a community organizer. And I'm here to ask and to let you know that the community wants to get more involved. They want to participate more actively with all the decision making, but there is a barrier, and that barrier is language. The agendas are not being translated, and the meetings are not being interpreted. So I really appreciate if you would take in consideration my request. We asked this in the meeting of December 13, 2022. We also asked this for February 7, 2023. And there was also a meeting, February 16th, where Madam Mayor saw the interest of the community to participate actively in the decision-making of our city and our future. So I really ask you, with all due respect, if you can take into consideration our request, because there is a barrier, that is language, because the agendas are not translated and the meetings are not interpreted. So that is a barrier that does not allow us to participate fully.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Consuelo Rosales. Buenas tardes, alcaldesa y miembros del concilio. Pues también para tomarnos, que nos tomen en cuenta y que sean transmitidas estas charlas de Zoom, que sean traducidas en español, por favor, lo mismo que las agendas, porque nosotros, la comunidad se quiere involucrar más, quiere saber cómo están todo el sistema aquí de Salinas, pero no tenemos la manera de involucrarnos, sino es a través de que nos hablaran en nuestro idioma. Eso se los venimos pidiendo y ojalá que nos tomen en cuenta, porque sí es una necesidad que sean traducidas al español, lo mismo estas charlas que se hacen por Zoom. De antemano, muchas gracias y esperamos contar con que pronto nos las hagan en español, por favor. Gracias.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, members of the council. My name is Consuelo Rosales, and I'm also calling so you can take into consideration about translating into Spanish these Zoom meetings, also translating the agenda. The community wants to get involved. They want to know what is happening in the system of Salinas, but we want to do it. But the language is a barrier. We want to hear it in our own language, in Spanish.
On that.
Yeah, so le quiero pedir disculpas a la comunidad. Como le digo, ya hemos dirigido el manejador. So, and what I'm saying is I'd just like to apologize to the community. We've asked the city manager, and I guess my question for you, city manager, is will we have this taken care of by our next meeting?
I'm working with the city clerk to work through all the details where we want to get the agendas translated first and then certainly Zoom second, but they will both happen. It's just we're working through those issues right now. It's really about being technically accurate on the translations for both. We're committed to doing it. It's just we're working through that process. I will do everything I can to get a schedule out to the 7 of you to get a feel for how long this is going to take. We're just, again, city clerk and I are working on it. But it's a priority for us. We've been talking about it certainly since before December, but we're committed to doing it.
I want to start off by introducing the request to have our agendas be translated to Spanish. Just wanted to put that back on the minds of our city administration. Thank you. A buddy from Councilmember Osornio. There you go. Let's not break the Brown Act.